Alright, so Miracle just had their first LUTI set, and they ended up beating Bucket of Axolotl 5-1. But they wanted to VOD review some of their openings, and they wanted to have me do it. So I'm going to look at the openings of 3 of their games, and I'm going to give my thoughts. This video is going to be pretty unscripted. But yeah, so I'm going to make some scripted content soon. I have a video idea planned, but I haven't had the time to make it yet, because real life kind of blew me up. So yeah, I will get to that eventually, I promise. But yeah, so let's look at this opening first. They mainly wanted to review their openings because I think that's the thing they're struggling with the most, so I'm going to give my thoughts on those. So this is the first game that they played, so this one definitely, I can tell, has the most nerves in it. But yeah, what ends up happening here, it ends up being a delayed wipe. So yeah, our zero does end up going down here. So let's go through each person's POV, and I'm going to explain why this opening went wrong. So first, I'm going to start out with X-Men. So X-Men usually goes through middle here, I know, because we've played this map many times together, so I know X-Men usually likes the middle here. Now, what I like here that the enemy team does, Jade, the Squiffer player, takes a very aggressive angle. This angle is great because look at where the shot hit. Like, that could have killed X-Men or R0. Like, it was very possible it could have killed either of them. If Jade hit the shot, of course. So yeah, that is a great aggressive angle because Squiffer is kind of playing like Stamper is on this comp. Like, Squiffer is their aggressive weapon in a way because Jade is a very aggressive Squiffer player. But yeah, so I like this. My thoughts, though, are that if you're going to be on middle, you should be looking down middle. Like, the reason we didn't go over and kill that Squiffer is because we were scared of engaging on that Squiffer. So why are we shooting at that area? That's my question. Yeah, because we didn't look fast enough and then kind of just got blown up by the pen. So that's my critique of X-Men right there. I'm going to go to Vivity now. Vivity is where I have my main critique for this game, and this is where the main theme of these games is going to come out, is passivity. Passivity is the thing I'm going to focus on for all of these games. So Vivity takes this right angle, but is in kind of a passive position. And what do I mean by passive? Well, they're next to middle, but they're playing kind of backed up. Like, they're kind of like dancing around. Like, you can kind of see they're going forwards and backwards, forwards and backwards. They're not really comfortable on the angle. So what could you do differently here? Well, you could do what Jade did. Jade took the wide right angle, like, to get a ton of space. And they were able to back up because the space was far enough away from everyone on Miracle's shots, so they're not going to be able to hit Jade. But right here, you're in range of pretty much everything on the enemy team. They can push up and kill Vivity very easily here. And I like Vivity looking through middle here. Like, I'm not opposed to this, but the problem is that we didn't cover enough of right side, so now they're able to just walk in. Like, the Splash also does a very smart play here. I just have to shout out Brick. They throw a Burst Bomb in front of and behind Vivity, so they perfectly paid them, and Vivity is just kind of cooked now. And yeah, they're able to just win the fight. So what could you do better here? I'm going to go to overhead to demonstrate this. So look at Vivity. So Vivity right here needs to go further to the right. I think that's the play. Because right now, if you look at Miracle, they're very clumped compared to where Bucket of Axolotl is going. Like, Jade is taking that wide right angle. Like, imagine if Jade is where Vivity is, like, much closer to middle. It looks so much worse for them. Because, like, also, imagine Jade is closer to middle. They're going to get blown up by X-Men. That's pretty similar to what happens to Vivity. That's why you don't want to be close on that right side. That's at least not where I would position. And again, Vivity is playing passive because they just give up this whole right side. Like, they're not, like, Brick is able to just walk in because look at everything unpainted. Like, the Splash is just able to walk in. Simple as that. So that's kind of where I have some issues with this. Other than that, I'm going to look at R0 because this is the other one I wanted to see. This is the other example of passivity. So right here, R0 is playing a hyper-mobile weapon. Dapples is extremely fast, extremely mobile, and it does a great job of getting in and getting kills. So right here, this is, now you have 1 second to react. This is the problem. This is why everything happens so quickly in this game, and it's hard to react. So you have to be very aware, and what I want R0 to do, you need hyper awareness. Like, you really need to be aware. I think R0 needs to push up here, because R0 is also playing passive. Like, I like the idea of sharking here. I'm not opposed to that, but we need to go much quicker. Because also our teammates need to not blow up, so that's the other problem. So Arzuru's play is kind of influenced by the team, but I would also like if Arzuru just engaged on this angle faster to like make space for X-Man. Like Dapples is the making space weapon in a way. Like you need to create the angle. You can't just walk in. Like you're not the weapon that's going to walk into an angle created by somebody else. You are the weapon that creates the angle. If that makes sense. Like if Arzuru is here and X-Man is able to look through this angle now because no one can push up because Arzuru just has the threat of blowing them up, then that's much better for X-Man. So this is kind of stuff that you can think about with this one. I don't really have much else here. And I'm going throughout all of these games, Ezio is doing a great job. Now, this game I do have one critique. I would like slightly more poking, at least I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I mean, but Ezio's in a good position. Like, the thing is, like, the things Ezio does here are really influenced by the team. Like, this is a good pen angle, but, like, Ezio's team kind of just blows up, so it's kind of tough for Ezio to engage on that. So, like, maybe I'd like a little bit more poking, but that's such a nitpick, because, like, they were in a position to poke, they just couldn't really get any shots. So, yeah, that's kind of my thoughts. Anyway, on to the next. Alright, so this is the second game for Miracle. So this has kind of similar problems to the first game, but this has a bit of a mix-up with the fight plan, so, or at least I assume so. So I'm going to go through that. I have some critiques about positioning, but I'm just going to kind of fast forward for a second. Let's go through the overhead so you guys can get a perspective on what happens. This is a really funny shark from Jade too, I just have to say. I'm not sure if this is like a great play or not, but it's really funny that they're just sitting there. So yeah. But yeah, this ends up being a not delayed wipe, but it's 3 down on the side of Miracle. So yeah, they do end up scoring here and getting to like 50, I think, maybe even more than that. I don't remember. Anyway, so going through this, why did they go 3 down? Let's analyze this. So I'm gonna start POV by POV. I'm gonna go through X-Man. So I assume right here that the fight plan was for X-Man to go bottom right. And I think this is to pull or to pressure, whichever one, it doesn't really matter, but X-Man is going bottom right. So now X-Man right here can see 1, 2, 3 players. That's the Blaster, Pen, and Splash. So right here, this is the optimal situation for pull. You have 3 players looking at you, and they're probably going to go get you. So now right here, X-Man sees the Blaster shoot 1 shot there. That shot is not that close. Like, the Blaster can push up now because there's paint down, but it's not it is a looming threat, but it's not, I'm going to die in 1 second. So then they jump out though. So right here, if you're going to go with this play, I don't think X-Man should jump out immediately there. I think X-Man needs to stay a little bit longer, just a hair longer. Because now in effect X-Men has not pulled and instead just kind of wasted time, because no one from Bucket of Axolotl actually went down there. So even though X-Men was in the pulling position and people were looking at him, he didn't actually pull anyone down there. That's kind of the problem. Like, you want people to be in bottom right because that's a bad position for them and it's good for you to take the fight there. That's the whole point of going down there. So that right there is not great. And it leads to kind of just a lack of space, and the Blaster ends up pushing up and getting a pick on X-Men. So right there is one thing. Now I'm going to go to Vivity's POV next. So Vivity, this is a similar issue to the last game, is that Vivity plays kind of passive here. So Vivity saw that the Squiffer or someone was bottom left. Something was bottom left. There was a trail of paint. So I think that's why Vivity is playing a bit passive here. But look at what Vivity does. Vivity just kind of like sits there, not really doing too much. Like, I'm gonna rewind. I want to see like what exactly Vivity does here. Like, just throws out a couple sloshes and a bomb, kind of sits here. Like, there's just not a lot going on. And I think this is kind of like a I don't know what to do situation, rather than like a bad play. Because Vivity clearly saw there was someone bottom left. But what I want here, like if you're here, let's say this is about when they see it. What I want here is for Vivity to just start throwing out sloshes. Like, you need to paint the bottom left, because Jade is actually like right below that ledge right now because they didn't paint the wall, which was funny. But you need to just start throwing out sloshes. Like, instead, because what Vivity does is just backs up and just kind of sits in the ink for a second. Like, we're not using our main weapon at all. Like, and then throws another bomb is the thing. Like, Like, I don't like throwing bombs here, and my reasoning is because the bomb is to clear the angle, but Slosher can just do that. Like, you don't need a bomb there, and now we're out of ink, and now we're kind of slowed down in our play. Like, that's a little mistake. It's not, like, horrible, but it is a little bit of a mistake. So yeah, that's something to look at. And then again, Vivity pushes up a little too far here. Like, we don't have a lot of space, we don't have a lot of paint on the ground, and the Slosher is taking one of the most aggressive positions right now when we don't have a space advantage. So yeah, and then unfortunately gets out mechanics. Now again, like it sounds very critical, I know, but like that is something you have to be aware of. Like as this aggressive team, you need to be able to clear space. Like there is no reason that you should be just throwing bombs lazily and just kind of sitting here. Like Slosher needs to be doing something, I feel like that's the thing. Now again, I am not a Slosher player, so maybe I'm wrong, but like I really think that the Slosher needs to be like putting out some kind of pressure, because imagine if they just sloshed over the left a couple times. They probably killed Jade. Like, they didn't know that Jade was there, but I mean, that's why you throw out sloshes. You need to check that angle. So yeah, anyway, that's my main critique of Vivity there. Next, we're gonna go to our Zero, and this is where my positioning critique comes in. So right here, actually, basically right there. So imagine in this position that X-Man is here instead. And this is my whole rationale, because we have the positions reversed. So the pulling position should be the weapon that is hypermobile, like a wiper or something. And it should be one that can, like, especially bottom right on Scorch, you need to be the one that shoots over a ledge, because you're going to be below the ledge. You need something that can be hypermobile so it can, like, take a fight with little space, and you need something that's not playing for a good special, because they have a high chance of just getting blown up. So, especially, Dapples is the best weapon to put down there, 100%, not even close. Like, on this team, you need the Dapple to be down there. And Pro should be exactly right here. Like, imagine if a Pro is here right now. The Pro can paint up for a missile, and also can look down right street, so that if people get pulled, then they can take the angle, like the off angle from the pull, and they can get a bunch of kills. That's exactly what you should be doing here. This is just a reverse in positioning. Because now Arzuru is here, and Arzuru really just doesn't have a lot to do. Like, it's not that they're not doing anything, it's there's no one to shoot at. Like, no one is close enough to Arzuru to actually be shot at, because their positioning is wrong. And like, I like this play, and like playing for a shark in theory. And I like staying in here, like trying to get a trade maybe. I don't actually mind that. But yeah, so that's my biggest thing for this game, is the positions were just wildly off. And I also think X-Man, like if you're going to go down there, X-Man needs to stay there and just take the fight. Because there's no, like, I think it's just a bad play on paper, and that's why, because the Pro shouldn't be dying there. But if you're going to be the pole player, you need to be able to take that fight. Like, you need to not be afraid of taking it. Also, for all of these games, I'm not going to really talk about Ezio that much, and that's because Ezio is doing a great job. I think most of the issues on these openings are simply just the aggressive weapons having mistakes with positioning or playmaking. Like, if you look at this opening, Ezio does a great job. Ezio holds space with Pen very well, backs up when they get aggressed, and also when they see their team go 2 down, they back up. Look at this great backup right here. I really like this. Excellent play, because now we can re-engage with the cooler. I really like this from Pencil. Like, if your team makes mistakes, you need to be the one to back up, hold space, and let your team re-engage. I really like this from Ezio. I think it's a little bit passive. Like, maybe, like, a better position, like, could be, like, somewhere where you could poke, but I don't really know. I think this is a great play in general. So, yeah, on to the next. Alright, so this is the last game, and this one, it has the most positive opening out of all of them, but it is a very long opening. So I'm going to kind of fast forward through some of this, but I'm going to go through the positives first, and then I want to go through my main critiques. Yeah, so great plays from X-Man. I'm going to go over those. Ends up getting 2 picks. And yeah, I like what Arzuru is doing. Arzuru, it was taking space, and so I really like that on plat. And yeah, a good pull here. Really good stuff here. And yeah, the end result of this is that Miracle gets 3 down. Now, it's a very scrappy opening. It took 38 seconds, which is longer than most openings, but I'm going to try to go through some of this and explain why. So I'm going to start out with X-Man's POV. X-Man is arguably the most impactful player in this opening, but like just off of sheer things that happen. But yeah, so great thing right here is that X-Men has a crossfire angle right now. And what this means is that in theory, like, whoever's looking at the top right could, like, if this Squiffer backs up, they could shoot them, but then X-Men can also pressure the Squiffer from this horizontal angle. So it's a crossfire as in you're crossing the map. Like, you're not looking linearly. Because, like, if you go to the map is very linear. Like, Ezio is looking in a straight line at the other team looking in a straight line. Same thing with Vividi and Arzuru. Like, they are kind of looking in a straight line at the enemy team. X-Men has a crossfire, so that means they are not looking in a straight line. So I really like this. That is a good first thing. Now I'm going to go back a second, go to X-Men's other thing that they do. My critique here would be X-Men should be about right here. And the reasoning for this is that Squiffer right here can hit X-Men. Now, unfortunately, or fortunately, they miss, and X-Men is able to simply out-mechanic the Squiffer. But if we wanted to play a little bit more back, then that would be better. And my rationale is that if X-Men is about right here, X-Men can poke the Squiffer, but then also back up. Because if, say, they don't kill the Squiffer, like right here is about Pro's maximum range, I think. If you're right here, you can look at that bottom right and blow up anyone over there. Like, this is about where you want to be crossfiring. Because you're not playing too aggressive, but you're also not playing too passive. Like, I think about right here is kind of where you want to be. So yeah, and then I'm going to fast forward. Yeah, and then X-Men just ends up getting another great pick on the pencil here. Just great aggressive play here. I really like this. So now we're going to go to Arzuru's POV. I'm going to rewind. Arzuru does a great job here. This is kind of a quick thing, but Arzuru's on the pulling angle right now. This position is very similar to the bottom right on Scorch that I talked about previously, and they do a great, like, kind of high IQ play here, if I'll call it that. So they see that X-Men is taking a fight and is pulling attention. So they're in the pulling position right now, but instead of just sitting there and pulling, even though they're not pulling anyone, they use the attention that X-Men is getting and they go up with it. Because the pen was looking at X-Men instead of looking at Arzuru on the angle, and Arzuru is able to get plat, even though they don't get a kill. They end up taking plat. Again, don't back up from plat here. This is not, don't back up. This is a great position to have. I really like this. Yeah, now crap. Anyway, so the thing is, the fight gets so scrappy because there's a little bit of passivity in here, even though it seems super aggressive. And so I'm going to go over that now. This is my main critique of this opening, even though it was good. So Vividi is, again, playing Slosher, and Slosher is a very high damage weapon. This is one of the things that Chara talked about. Slosher is just a high fighting aggressive weapon because it throws out 70 damage sloshes. Like, that's a great combo number off of, like, everything in the game. So you need to be playing aggressive. This right here, good positioning. I really like this. Like, right here, this is amazing. Now, in this exact situation, it's 3v2. Vividi sees the splash bottom right. Now, the thing is, I think Vividi thought the splash was still bottom right, but you can clearly see the splash is just left. Now, again, I have the benefit of hindsight. I can pause and I can see things, so maybe they didn't see the splash, but instead of taking space and getting a good position, Vividi backs up. And this right here is why the fight becomes so scrappy, because Vividi needs to take space here. Like, Vividi had literally, I think, like 3 seconds to take a good angle and pressure this splash or go fight the blaster or something like that, and they backed up. And now 3 seconds is not a lot of time, even though sometimes in Splatoon it feels like it. But it's very difficult to understand that in the moment, but you need to just not be scared there. You need to play aggressive. Now, and again, I think it was mostly just because they thought the splash was bottom right, but you need to be aware of, like, I need to take space. That is the biggest thing I will say here, because it just gives Vividi not a lot to do. Like, when Vividi backs up, they just don't have a lot to engage on, so it becomes kind of like a passive play, even though you were in an aggressive position like 2 seconds ago. So I would like more of that. But yeah, and if you go to the overhead, I'm not going to really review the scrappy fight here, because it's a very good pull from Arzuru. But yeah, the main thing is that taking space needs to happen. You can't be afraid to lose a fight. Like, you can't just give them the respect that they need. Like, right here, we are giving so much respect. Like, they're just assuming that this blaster and splash can kill all of them, when in reality, they're in a pretty bad position. I mean, they're holding space, but this is where you need to get aggressive. Like, Vividi backing off here is so strange. Like, that's just not it's not good because you've given up that entire left side now. Like, our Zuru now has to push into that plat with no one to support him. Like, Vivity needs to be the one there or bottom right. Like, or like right on the snipe, I mean, like under snipe, so that you can pressure the crab. And the reason you know crab is going to go there is because that's the only good position for crab to be. Like, if you're on this position as a crab weapon, you're going to crab from snipe. Like, that's exactly what you want to do. So Vivity needs to think about that and be like, oh, I'm going to go under right and just blow up this crab as soon as he pops up. So that's kind of something you can think about. Other than that, it's a great opening. Like, it's a lot of mechanical play, but the good thing about, like, you need to blend mechanical skill with team play. You can't have 100% one or the other. So I really liked it. There was a good amount of team play, and I think you could improve it. But also, X-Man's mechanical skill gets them through a lot of this. So that is very good from X-Man. So yeah, anyway, this is the last game I'm going to review for them. If you have anything you want to see, leave it in the comments. I'm going to do more videos. I have an idea for a video. I just haven't had time to make it yet. So I will get on that at some point. Yeah, anyway, I will see you in the next video. Make sure to like and subscribe, and bye.